Hello, my wonderful learners. I welcome you to today's lesson on Basic 5 Mathematics. Our topic is still on fraction, and our objective for today is to multiply fraction by a whole number. To multiply fraction by a whole number. Previously, we learned how to multiply a whole number by a fraction. So, I want you to do this for me. Just multiply 2 whole number by 3 out of 4. 2 whole number, 3 out of 4. So just multiply it for me quickly. You know it's 2, it's my 2 times 3 out of 4. I hope you can do this. We said previously that whenever we see a whole number, it's the same as that 1 is given that whole number, which is the same as 2 out of 1 times 3 out of 4. Then you multiply the top by the top and the down by the down. Numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. So 2 times 3, you get 6. 1 times 4, which is 4. This you can't leave it like this, because a big number is dividing. A big number is the denominator, and then the numerator rather is the big number, and then denominator is smaller. So we have to break it down. Okay, we have to change it to mixed fraction. So what should we do here? First of all, we can divide it. You can break it down. So 2 can divide 4, 2 divide this 3, and 2 divide this 2. So we have 3 out of 2. 2 can go into 3 how many times? 1 time. Remember, 1 out of 2. So our final answer is this. So always you have to break it down to the simplest fraction. And also when you know that the numerator is bigger than the denominator, sorry. If the numerator is bigger than the denominator, then you change it to mixed fraction. Today's one, we are to multiply a fraction by a whole number. So quickly, let's move to today's activity. So multiply a fraction by a whole number. Multiply a fraction by a whole number. So let's take an example so that you can just understand. It's the same as the multiply the whole number by a fraction. This one, just that the fraction will come first before the whole number. But we use the same method. We use the same method. Good. So let's move on to the first example and see how to go about it. So first of all, we have 3 out of 2 times 6. This is a whole number and this is a fraction. So we learned that whenever we see a whole number, is that whole number 1 is dividing it. So any whole number in this way, 1 is dividing that whole number. Because if 1 divide anything, the same thing, that 1 will get everything. Are you seeing it? So 1 is dividing the whole number. So we can write this thing as what? This as 3 out of 2 times 6 out of 1 times 6 out of 1. Can you do this? Yes, you can do it. So quickly, we know that it's 3 times 6, that is numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. The same thing. So what should we do now? 3 times 6, which is 18. Very good. 2 times 1 is also 2. Look at this small boy carrying a big load like this. Isn't good? No. So what should we do? First of all, let's break it down to the simplest fraction, because 2 can divide 18. So 2 will divide it how many times? 1 time. And divide 18 how many times? 18 times how many times? 9 times. So this is the same as 9 out of 1. And a whole number, 1 divided any whole number is the same as what? That whole number. So 9 out of 1 is the same as what? 9. Good. Let's move on to the second example. We have 1 out of 4 times 2. And you know that a whole number, 1 is dividing it. So this is very easy for us. So that's 2 on 1. So 2 out of 1. So let's quickly multiply it. 1 times 2 will give us 2. Good. 4 times 1 will also give us what? 4. This is proper fraction. But let's ask what? First of all, let's ask what? Divide it. Break it down to the simplest fraction. The simplest one. 2 can divide itself how many times? 1. It can divide 4 too. So we can use 2 to divide. So 2 can divide itself 1 time. And divide 4 2 times. So this is equal to 1 out of what? 2. This simplest fraction. So let's move to example 3. And I'll leave example 4 for you. Because I hope this is very easy, you can do it. So let's do it. Or try and pause the video, you can do the rest. Let's do this one. That's example 3. 2 out of 7 times the whole number, which is 5. So 2 out of 7. Then the whole number, 1 is dividing that whole number, which is 5. 1 is dividing that, so 5 out of 1. Now what should we do? We should multiply the numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. So 2 times 5 will give us 10. Good. 7 times 1 will also give us 7. 10 divided by, or 10 out of 7. Or 10 on 7. So what should we do? 7 is small, which is the denominator, and 10 is too much. So what should we do? We should now change it to what? Mixed fraction. So 7 will go into 10 how many times? 1 time. Can only do 1 time. What will be the remainder? To be 3 out of the denominator we are having, which is 7. So this is our mixed fraction for that. I hope you can do this. I've changed it. It is 2 out of 6. 2 out of 6 times 4. A fraction dividing the whole number. So I hope you can do this quickly. But let's do it. Pause the video, do it yourself. Let's do it together. So this is the same as 2 out of 6 times 4 out of 1, where 4 is the whole number. So 1 is dividing the whole number. Now I think you can multiply this yourself. Just multiply the numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. So 2 times 4 is equal to 8. 6 times 1 is equal to 6. This, you can break it down. Yes. So, which number should we use? Which common number can we use? 2. 2 can divide 6 and can also divide 8. So 2 divided 8 how many times? 4 times. And also divide 6 how many times? 3 times. So our new fraction will be 4 out of 3. Now, 4 is on 3. However, the 3 is too small to carry 4. So let us break it down to the what? Change to mixed fraction. So 3 will go into 4 how many times? 1 time. What will be the remainder? 1. 1 out of the denominator we are having, which is 3. Good. I hope you have learned something. So I'll ask you again, what have you learned? You have learned how to multiply a fraction by a whole number. And it's nothing changed by multiply the whole number by the fraction. It's like the same thing. But this one is a fraction first before the whole number. And you know that anytime you see a whole number, we divide it by 1, divide that whole number. So just bring 1 under it. And then multiply the numerator by numerator, and then denominator by denominator. I hope you can do this. Love you all. Stay safe. Goodbye.